So I want to start off talking about Steph Curry, his current situation, his injury he's battling, trying to battle back. Um, tough situation, as I mentioned before, from the injury, it looked like it was multiple tears, well, not a tear, but definitely an injury that's going to have affected ligaments. He's going to need, you know, uh, just really time to heal. Just from me experiencing my own, tearing my ACL twice, having no meniscus, um, sublux patella. These are all knee injuries that could affect him his playing time. What happened to Steph Curry specifically when he collided his knee? He has something called a superior tibiofibular ligament, right? He has partial tears on that, and then interserosus membrane. So essentially, this is the front. These are ligaments that attach the kneecap as well as the fibia, the bone in your shin, to to your skin, to your body. So um, he has partial tears there, which it's essentially the front part of the knee, which it had happened with his knee contusion. Now it's interesting because tears don't happen from impact, right? Tears happen from twists, turns, pulling, stress on the knee. So it was interesting to see, his position and how he got hit. It seems like the impact hit his knee at the same time he was twisting. So that's why we have the contusion. The contusion is just pretty much a harsh bruise. Um, we saw who was it? Not Ray Rice, but J.K. Dobbins kind of had the same somewhat knee injury. We had something big poking out of his knee after surgery. It's kind of like that. It's a hard part of your knee where blood starts to circulate. Blood starts to circulate and it starts to become hard. So um, they say Steph Curry started individual workouts. I reckon right now he's not doing anything too intense. Just kind of getting some pressure on the knee, maybe breaking down some scar tissue. the, I think best case scenario for Steph Curry is, and best case scenario for the Warriors is he comes back for the playoffs. If he comes back for the playoffs, if they make the play-in game, and he's somewhat who he is, we know what Steph Curry is capable of. We know he can shoot the three. We know he can create space on the floor. We know he can draw double teams. And even if he's a spot-up shooter, he's just as dangerous. So depending on how fast he rehabs, and a question that would be also to ask if it's worth it as well too, will also determine what's the probability of for him in the playoffs. I want to bring him back. I would not bring him back in March. I would let the month of March play out to see how well Golden State does without him. If he's somewhat to 80, I say 85, 90%, then maybe you test him out, and 89%, that just means muscle endurance. He has to build up his muscle endurance. It's nothing that would jeopardize the ligament, a tear, or re-tear, but endurance just from being away from the game. Especially the way Steph Curry plays his game. He plays his game at a high rate. He's a high energy guy. It relies heavily on endurance. So we'll see. Gauging I think the best case scenario for Steph Curry, when I think realistically, would be if it's an emergency situation, they bring him back end of March. If not, I would expect him to come back for the playoffs or the play-in.